Hey everybody, what's going on? Alan here. Welcome to... Hey everybody, what's going on? Alan here. Welcome to the Gibson Garage Speed Shop YouTube channel. I brought my beard with me today. It's getting there. It's not looking bad, right? I do it every once in a while. Not a big deal. I have no idea what we're doing this week. No, of course I know what we're doing this week, or at least today. Probably a couple days, and it's going to be a lot of breaks, not just on one vehicle, but on the neighbor's vehicle also. We've got this truck back. He was driving it and he hit the brakes really hard. He had to hit them hard enough to activate the ABS, and it locked him up. Locked up the front tires. It wouldn't release. And it said that it groaned like brrr. That's what he did for me. I'm just telling you what the sound was he made for me. And then he couldn't drive. He could sit there and do a burnout without putting his foot on the brake. Couldn't go nowhere. Stuck in the parking lot at Burger King, I think it was. So he called the tow truck. By the time the tow truck got there, he was able to hook it up, and it rolled right onto the bed, and he thought that was strange. He was expecting the tires to skid, but apparently it released by the time the tow truck got there, and the tow truck dropped it off here at my house, and it rolled right off the flatbed, parked right over on the corner. It brakes just fine now. It's sketchy. I'd be afraid to go driving it because they locked up on him, and he almost hit a pole, he said. I don't know if he went skidding and it started going off the road. I don't want that happening to me. So I was tripping. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm not a service technician. All I can do is bleed it, and with a four-wheel ABS, I don't even know how to bleed it, because you need a tool, a scan tool, to hold it open, but my scan tools don't do it. But I have the answer. I do have part numbers for the scan tools that will do it, and the multimeter, but you can get any multimeter nowadays. But I do have those part numbers, and I got the service manuals, 4 giant books, like, well, 2 of them, 3 of them are like this thick or something, but yeah, 4 volumes on just 1 year, 1998, the CK truck. Let's check it out. Look at these gems, huh? I mean, 30 years too late, but still, this is pretty valuable information. We got one. Doesn't say what it does. It just says second edition CK truck service manual. It's the only one that says second edition. Volume 2, steering, suspension, driveline, axle, and brakes. That's the one we'll be getting into. I already made some markers there. Volume 3, engine, transmission, and transaxle. Volume 4, engine, transmission, and transaxle. 2 of the big guys here just for the drivetrain. This one, they got a little wet. They were in the back, actually, of his truck. He had these sitting in the back of that truck for a year and forgot about it, which means I could have had these the last time I looked at his truck. All these answers would have been here. This is amazing, all for one specific year. So you get those Chilton manuals or Haynes manuals. It is maybe this thick, right? And it covers all 10 years. Everything you're supposed to do, 10 years of trucks and this much. When they did 4 books that thick to cover just 1 year. This is amazing information. They will break down everything, how to rebuild every single thing in here. You can rebuild your calipers, your wheel cylinders, your master cylinder. They tell you how to do it all. They give you all the torque specs. They give you all, like, how to test the ohms, the resistance in your wiring connectors. I mean, every single thing you can think of that a service guy would need at the dealership, right, to do it right. Just check this out. So all of this, from that first note to this last note here, little sticky note, that's all brakes. It's like a third of this book is all brakes. Okay. Got hydraulic brake section, and it gives you, you know, like I said, torque specs. Systems, you ever go to an AutoZone and they ask you, you have the JB whatever system? Well, now you can figure out what you have. Gives you all the dimensions, so you can go to your truck and take some dimensions. Tells you, you know, the type. All this, it's just such amazing information. So you got hydraulic brakes, then you've got, and at the end of each section it tells you the tools you need to perform all those tests, right? The brake pedal effort gauge, because that's how you test the booster. Do you know you can test the brake booster with just a pound gauge with that thing? You put 40 pounds of pressure on it, and you just turn the car on and off, and you see if it does something. You see if it reads back to 40. It'll release and then come back. It's crazy. Wheel cylinder wrench, you don't really need that. Piston compressor, you don't really need that. We use C-clamps. Brake bleeder adapter, that's, you know, those are $3. You don't really need that. Push rod height gauge, that might be a useful tool. Okay, and then you got the disc brake section. Again, all the torque specs you need, all the different systems, all the wear specifications, everything you need to perform every single job. And then we go to drums. You got a whole drum section. Again, all the same information, all the tools you needed to do the disc section for pressing in stuff. Caliper piston installer, dial indicator set, mounting adapter. Interesting stuff. Then we go park and brake. Just bear with me, guys. We're just going to run through this real quick. No tools for drum brakes, I guess. That's terrible. There's hella tools for drum brakes, but they didn't list any. That's funny. SPO group numbers. Special part order group numbers, maybe? Special. All the part numbers, so it's just nuts. It's crazy. You want to get all the factory stuff. Drum inspection, taper check, everything you need. Every single thing. Your anti-lock system. Let's see. Now we start the anti-lock system. You need a scale for the park and brake, like a fish scale. Tells you a part number. Now we're in the anti-lock brake system. More special order numbers. And look, it's got a breakdown of the what do they call it? The BPMV, the brake pressure modulator valve. It's just this whole section here with the servos and the valves in it for your front tires and your back tires. Pretty cool stuff. And then it breaks down the different modes, like normal braking mode. It shows everything. Isolation mode, dump mode, reapply mode, brake release mode, so you can check out where the flow, their flow charts, so you can see what the fluid is doing every time you press the pedal and release it. Tells you the wiring schematic, anti-lock brake schematic reference charts. I don't know how to understand any of that. Indicator control, wheel speed sensors, common, maybe not absolutely specific to your vehicle. More schematics, more charts, EVO, electronic orifice, electronic variable orifice, pass lock control module. That's what I don't know what that is. I don't know what that, it has something to do with brakes though. More component names and definitions and locations. A little diagram here. This tells you what everything is. This is your electronic brake control module. This is where all those valves are. The valve, the pressure module valve is underneath it, where all these lines are going into. Your harness identification, connector identifications. How to test the ABS system. So you can actually run through the entire ABS system, and this identifies like what certain steps are important. More step by step. Use this scan tool. That's just a You need a scan tool, but this J39200, that's just a multimeter that you can't find anymore. But this is all about testing the ABS system. All these DTC codes, right? Here's my DTC code. I went in there and checked it out. All DTC codes, that whole thing. More DTC codes. Right here, 65, oh wait, no, this side, the sticky notes on this side. There we go. I have a 0268 shorted pump motor circuit, and it says one of the reasons could be slamming on your brakes super hard, activating it at 8 miles an hour or less, which is what he did the second time in the parking lot, and they stayed locked up in the parking lot. And he was able actually to limp it. He said they were dragging, so after a few minutes, and then he was finally able to drive it into the parking lot. So it just took a while for the pressure to release, and I don't think he really has a problem considering the conditions for setting the DTC. This is really cool. It tells you how high voltage exists from low side of the pump motor for 100 milliseconds when voltage is expected to be low. So what? All the answers are here for everything. And then of course, the Holy Grail, ABS bleeding procedure. So you need a scan tool, and I can give you the part number for that. And it's called a Tech 2 scan tool, and that may be the part number there, or that could just be like a photo identification number, I don't know. But you need a scan tool. This is called the Tech 2 scan tool. You may need this adapter set, but not for the bleeding anyways. This is just a jumper wire, that's just a multimeter. But we go back to here, and they want you to do the 2-person procedure as normal. You have one guy bleed in the back caliper furthest away, and then you get closer with the other guy pressing on the pedal, right? Standard stuff. Then you have to plug in the scan tool and activate the automatic bleed procedure, and then release brake pedal between each test. So there's a procedure on the scan tool you got to do for the ABS if you have a scan tool that can do it. Then you bleed all 4 wheels again the 2-man way. And you just do that over and over as necessary. Go back to the scan tool, bleed the ABS, go back to the tires, bleed the tires. And it says you could take up to a pint for each tire, 4 pints, just to bleed it once. So, well, good thing I got a gallon down there. Oh, so I hope I didn't lose you. Man, that was a lot of crap, a lot of small words. This is like phone book thin paper. There's a lot of information there. So let's just get into the truck and see what we can do. Now, I also have this nifty thing. This, I believe, is supposed to go in place of this electronic sensor down here, and that will manually push open the valve when, you know, the ABS or the scan tool, if you can't open the valve electronically with the scan tool, I believe this is supposed to leave that open manually. So we might still be able to do the procedure and get some stuff out, some old fluid out of the EBCM. And another thing that happened during the EBCM seizure is he lost his lid somehow, and this thing like had ballooned. Somehow it just ballooned, and it's like way too large to fit inside of this thing now. It's just humongous. You could fit it over, is how he got it here actually. He stretched it out and just put it over the reservoir, but he has no lid. So we're gonna clean all this out, put in some fresh stuff, and then just bleed the brakes like normal until we get all the bad fluid out. Then we'll try putting that tool in place of that sensor, like press on the brakes a whole bunch more and see if we just like stir it up, I guess, because it's not gonna flush anywhere with the valves closed. Or should I put the tool in and then do all four wheel. That kind of makes more sense to me. All right, we're at the back right tire. Go ahead and press on the brake.
All the way?
Yeah, just put, yeah, just press on it. Did it go down?
No.
Press harder.
I'm like, my leg is shaking.
What the fuck?
Loading.
Maybe I gotta open it up more. Pressing?
Yeah.
Come on. The bleeder's not clogged. Hose is not clogged. Okay, trying to crack this line here. I bet it's not clogged back here at all. It's probably clogged way up there at that BM, so whatever it is. Let's see if this side is plugged too. That'll give us, because there's only one single line coming all the way to the back. Hey AJ, you want to slowly press on that for me?
Slowly pressing.
Slowly pressing. Nothing's coming out. Press harder.
Oh, it's stopped now.
Huh. It's not coming out of either one's in the rear end. Press on it. Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, let go. Okay, let's go all the way to the front here. Let's see if we get any fluid coming out of here. This is the, I believe this would be the back brakes, the smaller reservoir. The front brakes have a bigger reservoir because they're disc and they require more fluid for the motion. Wow, it is dry in there. So the master cylinder might be bad. Hey buddy, slowly press that pedal for me.
Slowly pressing.
Okay, there's no fluid coming out of that.
Yeah, that's stuck. Too fast.
Well, I'm happy to find an answer. So I did crack this open and you can see there's a little fluid there. So it's coming out the front, just not coming out for the back at all. It's dry as a bone in there. I had him press as hard as he could. He's got some scooter kicking legs, so
yeah, I got some calves.
I think he's pressing pretty hard, but it is not coming out of the port for the back. Got yard work going on. Don't mind us. So brake fluid is hydrophobic, and you can just rinse it away with some water. You ever get some on your hands, try just water. You don't even need soap. Let go of my master cylinder. Yay, that's out. That's easy. I love easy. Here's the new one. We'll get it bolted on and tightened up, and we'll fill it up with some fluid, and then we'll bench bleed it before we hook up the lines with these guys using the pedal. Then you wait 10 to 15 seconds. Slowly pushing it. I don't want to blow the fittings out. That's why the other ends need to be submerged, because it sucks back in when you let the pedal out. I'll just do this for another 20 minutes. Don't have it on the electronics, it's fine. Just want to get it off the frame. Well, that shouldn't have happened. The drum was on. That's no bueno. It's missing a bolt. There's a bolt missing from the wheel cylinder, and I think it must have forced it out and popped it out. I believe it's 14. There we go. Oh, now is this one going to be stuck to the pipe too? It is not. Yay. We can get this fitting out of the back of the cylinder. Swap in the new one. Quick like. How am I gotta like spread the brakes. Oh, I gotta put on shoes. I might as well just disassemble everything. Kind of getting ahead of myself here. I gotta fight mosquitoes at the same time. I feel like pitch black. It's dangerous. What's the spring? There's another spring. There's bottom spring. There's so many. This will never go back together. It started to come loose. There we go. Someone's been in here and messed this thing all up. It's dented in and the holes are wallered out. So we won't ever get these bolts to tighten up nicely. We've got our work cut out for us on this one. Well, we had a little bit of a hiccup last night waiting on parts, but they're in this morning, or half of them are in this morning. The rest of them should be in later. We got the front backing plates, which you have to get this, the whole backing plate just to get this sensor. One of his codes was an ABS sensor, so that's how they're selling it anyways. It looks like you could obviously unbolt it right there and just sell the sensor, but it is riveted on here, so that's why they do that, I guess. But now we got our work just got a lot more involved. We're gonna have to take calipers and rotors off of both to get these on the front, and then in the back we're waiting on backing plates too, which means the rear diff has to come off to remove the C-clips so we can pull the axles out so we can replace those backing plates because the one is mangled. A little golden. It's a little dark. Wheel cylinder's loose too. I haven't even touched the mounting bolts yet. So the bolts are tight, but it's loose on the plate. Probably because it's wallered out too. Yep. Well, that one could have been a hair tighter, but it wasn't loose enough to cause the looseness. Look at that! He's got the factory limited slip. Just like me. That's so cool. And a C1500. Huh. Interesting. Oh, I can't turn this thing. I gotta take it out of park. This side. Well, it's the next morning and it is looking bad. It's gonna start raining on us, but we are finally to a point where we can take off these backing plates. So we'll just do that. You wanna play? Fine, I got 100 PSI for your ass. Oh, you don't stand a chance, do you? Is that gonna come off? Is it that simple, or is there more to it? Please? Pretty please? I don't, what? Yes, it's been leaking. It's definitely a little wetter, a little thicker on the bottom here. Come on. You're gonna really gonna make me get the hammer. Oh, I didn't think so. Yeah, and this one's totally leaking out the seal too. Or that could have spilled over from when I pulled the axle. I don't know. A little surface cleaning. Bonk the head.
That's not getting used anymore.
Nope. Man, it is coming down now. Oh, look, here he is, right on schedule. Okay, well, we got the actual GM. Whoa. Part. It's filled with grease. Like, what? That's pretty sweet. And we're only barely sprinkling. So, we're doing okay. Why'd you have to start crooked, huh? There you go. You can get those at O'Reilly's. Handed me an actual GM part. All right, new morning. The sun is out. The tank is clean. We got new backing plates. That was cool. Snapped right into place. So I can't tell you how to do every car, but this is how you do brakes on a Chevy C10. The drum brakes anyways, the shoes. You can assemble all this without any spring tools. You can do this by hand. And then, because this kind of locks everything into place there. So, you feed it around your brake cable. You put one side on. Hold it, put the other bottom one in to hold it, then you just spread the tops apart, you get them in there, boom, brakes are on. Then you take your pins and you do that thing, right? That's the fun part. Good luck with that. I did that with my hands. Nice. Then you just adjust it all. Make sure you're not all up in the rubber and stuff. Oh, then then you take your clean-ish brake rotor and you check to see if how close your pads are. You can go a little more. Well, we've got one more part to replace. I measured this roughly at about 10 and a little over 1/8 inches, and it's actually got a serious lip, at least another 1/8 of an inch total of a lip. And then you've got to go in and, you know, after you get rid of the lip, you got to go in just to make it smooth. So it's more than 10 and 1/8 in there will be the overall diameter converted to millimeters. 10 and 1/8 is 254.5 millimeters almost. Maximum diameter is 256.3. That's less than 2 millimeter difference of the maximum diameter. So we're gonna need a new drum. All right, well, we've got everything put together on both sides. So we'll just slap on a brand new drum here. Should I go underneath? Yeah, let's do that. Oh. And what? Now it's tight. It's pouring rain while I'm under the car trying to put in this fluid. I've got water dripping all over me. Oh, this is so terrible. Oh, there we go. That's 2 quarts. Well, that's gonna be it, guys. We got everything done. Wheels are on, brakes are working. He's got no more brake light. It's not pulling hard to the side anymore. They're not locked up, obviously, anymore. So that's a win. We'll have to clear the codes. He's gonna take it for a couple days, and then we're gonna clear the codes and try to re-bleed everything again. But until next time, please check out the Gibson Garage Speed Shop Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and please hit that super thanks button down below. I'm still saving up money for that 10K raffle giveaway, where I give away all my bikes, my quads, and all that stuff. But we got to raise the money to fix them up, and then of course raise the money to hold the event at the clay pits here in Orville. So please like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.